Hey everyone, David here with Logic and Fulfillment, part of the platform. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about opportunities. And one of my favorite things actually inside of the software is the opportunities, because you can do so many things, so many triggers, so many actions can happen. It's just so user friendly, so easy to look at, and so easy to understand, and so easy to use. So here we are and the opportunities. And the way I got there is if you're logged in, when you log in at the dashboard, we're going to come over here to where it says opportunities, and it'll take you to this page right here. So here we have the option, obviously, to select different pipelines. And if we're using the pipelines, we want to go down to settings, and we might want to create our own pipeline or create a new pipeline. We can come into settings, go to pipelines, and we can create new pipeline. Okay. Or we can edit the existing pipeline. Click on edit. And once you put the pipeline in, you already have that info. You can add a new stage, or you can reorganize by moving the arrows all the way up or move them down, etc. And then when you hit save, it'll save it in that order, and it'll present in that order on the actual opportunity dashboard. Okay, and then here you have the option to turn off the chart off the dashboard and turn off the chart of the pie chart. So you have the funnel chart and the pie chart that you will see, and you get the option to. And of course, you can actually have the option to turn it off individually. Turn off here, turn off here. And when I'm talking about this, I'm talking in regards to the dashboard itself. When we come to the dashboard, we can turn all this off if we wanted to. So that way it didn't show anything. Okay. So that is, and I think the reporting team will probably go into more depth on how that looks and how that works. But we're going to go ahead and get into the opportunities now. And what's really cool is we can simply go in, create a new opportunity, and it'll give you the option. If the opportunity already exists, it'll give you a drop down of choosing the opportunity, or you could just create a brand new opportunity by putting in new data. That one doesn't exist. And then, of course, we could put an email, phone, and then we could even add tags. We could put a company name, and then, of course, we could label the opportunity. I usually like to label it the actual name, and I use the custom values to do so. So contact.name, and what that's going to do is it's going to autofill this information in here. All right, so once we get it here, we're adding to this pipeline. We're leaving the status it's open. And then the lead values is really cool. We could actually put a lead value behind it. So say $500. We could assign it to one of the users on the location. So maybe I want to assign it to this test users. And then of course we can add a source, right? So if it was a call-in source, we could say it was by call. We could say it was by Google, or whatever we want to say, right? So let's say I add it. Okay. So now the contact here, we could see that it says the name, tells us everything we need to know. And what's really cool is we can drag to whatever calling we want. So if you have a team member that's working on this, they can basically move it over. If they wanted to manually, they could drop it down to the lost column, the abandoned column, or even the won column. And I'll explain what that is right now. But what's really, really cool is this can all be powered by triggers, which is one of my favorite things, because it can tie into opportunities, which is also my other favorite thing. Honestly, everything on this thing is my favorite thing, because it's just so much you can do. So if we did something where someone gets added to a campaign, we can fire a trigger that moves them to an opportunity. We could do something where if someone called this contact and they didn't answer the phone, we can get it and we can move it to, we can have an opportunity to call 1, call 2, call 3, call 4, and then we can have this just kind of move down the line. We could have it to where, let's say somebody comes in on Facebook, here's the new lead, like the way it is right here, and if they reply, it'll automatically get moved over to replied, and then the user can come in and see, okay, this person replied, I gotta get in contact with them, right? Or we could do something where, let's say they're on the campaign, they reply to a message and they get added to another campaign, and let's say the campaign sends them a trigger link, which we'll talk about trigger link in more videos in the future. But what the trigger link can do is basically when someone clicks on a trigger link, it can automatically move it over to hot leads, which is awesome, right? And then of course you can have actions, right? So if someone purchases on the funnel, they purchase something, move it over to, purchase coaching call, right? And then what's cool is inside of the trigger itself, it'll give you the option to change the status to won. And guess what? If it changes it to won, you'll see a little green icon right here. And if you don't see it, chances are it's because you have it on, it's filtered as open, which means it'll only show you the open. And then if you go to all, or if you go to won, you'll see all of the won sales, like every sale that was closed, right? All of the sales that were closed. And of course, if you select all, it'll show you everything, including the lost sales, which is really cool because now let's say someone is talking, and they didn't buy. Well, we can program it based on triggers, based on if they didn't buy or not. But most commonly used is someone can go in and actually say, okay, we'll move it to lost. And what happens is when it moves it to lost, you'll see that little lost banner pop up, and it means the sale wasn't closed. Or maybe someone replied and said stop or not interested, remove me, or whatever the nature is. You can basically have it automatically go to lost or abandoned, whichever one. Abandoned I think would be more used for stale. Let's say someone stays on a new lead column, and they don't move over. Maybe after 5 days or so, you can have it move to abandoned, right? And then of course with that, you can create so many different triggers based on that. But anyway, this is all about the opportunities here, and there's so many things you can do with the opportunities. You can download the opportunities, and then you could actually customize the way it gets downloaded. Maybe you want to see task, calendar, events, maybe you want to see notes, company name, and basically you'll be able to see all that information here. And then of course when you download, it'll pull in all that data on the actual download itself. So it popped up. There it is. All right, so without going too deep into detail, that is opportunities in a nutshell. Let us know if you have any questions, but I believe the opportunities is really awesome, and it's most commonly very effective and used by agencies and admins and so forth. Very, very effective tool. All right, hope this video was helpful, and you have a great day. Talk to you next time. God bless.